themes of certification and the confirmation of compliance of production and service. Certification, this action is confirmed by a certificate and the mark of conformity that the product or service meets the requirements of certain standards or technical specifications. Certification of compliance in recent decades has become a powerful means of controlling both the international and the domestic trade. Certification develops into normal trade relations at a level but mainly in the rate of major commercial transactions. While development and certification contribute to the implementation of two of its main features, it is a means of consumer information and could be one of the most effective means of legal regulation of trade relations, since it is based on clearly defined and easily accessible control regulations. Since 2004, entered the Law on Technical Regulation, which laid the requirements for certification, which is called the System of Conformity Assessment of Products. Conformity assessment activities are regulated by: first, Law of the Republic of Kazakhstan on Technical Regulation of November 9, 2004. Technical Regulations Conformity Assessment Procedure. Degree of the Government of the Republic of Kazakhstan, dated February 4, 2008, and other technical regulations, a list of regulations given in the technical regulation. Resolution of the Government of the Republic of Kazakhstan, dated April 20, 2005, about obligatory confirmation of conformity of products in the Republic of Kazakhstan. Standards of the Republic of Kazakhstan in the field of conformity assessment, and other normative legal acts in the field of technical regulation. Mandatory confirmation of compliance is carried out in the forms of carrying out mandatory certification, the adoption by the manufacturer of the declaration of conformity. Obligatory certification is subject to production. A member of a special list approved by the decree of the Government of Kazakhstan, dated April 20, 2005, about obligatory confirmation of conformity of products in the Republic of Kazakhstan, as well as products defined as subject to mandatory certification, the relevant technical Republic of Kazakhstan regulations. Certificate of conformity, a document certifying the conformity of products and the service to requirements of technical regulations, standards, or other normative documents. The certificate of conformity may be issued to a specific batch of products or for all products produced during a certain period and mass produced. Depending on the circumstance, product certification can be carried out by one of the SEMs. The most widely adopted circuits 3, 7, 9, and 5, when accompanied by imported products or foreign certificate of conformity, can be carried out recognition procedure, that is the issuance of a certificate on the basis of Kazakhstan's foreign certification works are paid now. Applicant Tariff Authority for Conformity Assessment. Application for certification may be submitted at any conformity assessment body. in the scope of accreditation that includes the claimed product or service. Certification works begin after the applicant applies for certification issued on the form which is issued to the TSO and of the payment according to the concluded contract and the invoice issued by the bank. Obligatory certification is subject to production. A member of a specialist approved by the decree of the government of Kazakhstan dated April 20, 2005 about obligatory confirmation of conformity of products in the Republic of Kazakhstan. Certification schemes and first from 6 and 10 shall apply for the certification of serial production schemes. 7, 8, 9 for certification of already realized products. Schemes 1 is recommended to use a limited pre-certified amount of sales. Schemes 2 may be used in the certification of imported products entering long-term contracts or permanent supply of cereal products under separate contracts. Schemes 3 should be used for certification of cereal production, stability of production which is not in doubt. Schemes 4 is used if necessary of comprehensive and strict control over the stability of the product characteristics. Schemes 5 from 6 are recommended for certification of products for which the actual size of the sample for testing is not sufficient for an objective assessment on the products. Technological processes are sensitive to external factors. Increased requirements for the stability of product performance, expiry dates of products in less than the time required for the organization and carrying out of tests, is characterized by private changing product modifications. Products can be tested only after the installation of the consumer. Feature 6 is characterized in that does not provide for the certification of the final product and is recommended for the certification of components. Schemes 6 can also be used for certification of imported products. Supplier has certified its quality management system if the run is confirmed by certification of the characteristics and the values corresponding to the requirements of the regulations in force in the territory of the Republic of Kazakhstan. 7 from and 8 are recommended when be production and sale of these products and are held. Schemes 9 is recommended for imported products in the event of certification of the party of small volume production for their own use or production of a single product. Acquired a market for equipment manufacturing and other faculties in the submitted documents can be judged on the safety of products. Feature 10 is recommended to apply for the certification of domestic producers at irregular release or prolonged release production in small volumes. The same appropriate to take certification of products claimed by small business. Do not use circuits 9 and 10 for certification of the following groups of homogeneous products: baby food, toys, automatic, gasoline, medicines. Conformity assessment provides benefits to producers, buyers, consumers, public authorities, and the trade in general. It undoubtedly gives greater value products bearing the conformity mark. For manufacturers and the service providers, it opens up markets and simplifies relations. User confirmation of compliance ensures that the product purchased has certain characteristics. Organizational process meets the requirements. It allows to distinguish between identical at first glance the goods or service, allows you to file a claim. For government bodies, conformity assessment is a means by which support the nation's health, increasing life safety, and environmental legislation is implemented. Parties that support compliance. Value can be confirmed. First party, the seller of the manufacturer. In other words, it is self-esteem. Second party, the buyer of the consumer. Third party, an independent body that is not related to the transactions between the first and the second sides. State plays a unique role in the regulation, but it is the second party in the supply. Forms of conformity. Forms of conformity. First, declaration of the supplier. Second, inspection. Third, test. 4, certification. 5, registration. 6, accreditation. Definition of conformity of the first, second, and third parties are based on the concepts of provider and user. Supplier declaration as first party attestation, different from the certification by a third party that is related to products, process, systems, or persons. Accreditation, conformity assessment bodies, is characterized by the fact the third party attestation related to a conformity assessment bodies. Conformity goals. Conformity assessment is carried out in order to certificate of conformity of products, process, decision, production, construction, installation, commissioning, operation, storage, transportation, marketing, and utilization, work, service of other objects of technical regulation, standards, codes of conduct, terms of contracts. Assessed per heads, including consumers in a competent choice of products, works, and service. Enhance the competency of products, works, and service in domestic and international markets. Creating conditions for the free movement of goods through the territory of the Republic of Kazakhstan, as well as for the implementation of international economic, scientific, and technical cooperation and international trade. The principles of conformity. First, conformity assessment is based on the principles of first, the availability of information on the procedure of conformity assessment stakeholders. Second, inadmissibility of the use of mandatory conformity to objects for which no requirements of technical regulations. Third, establishing the list of forms and schemes of mandatory conformity in respect of certain products in the relevant technical regulation. 4. Reducing the timing of mandatory conformity and the applicant's costs. 5. Inadmissibility of coercion or in the implementation of voluntary conformity assessment, including in the particular the system of voluntary certification. 6. Protection of property interests of applicants, observance of commercial secrets in relation to information obtained in the exercise of conformity assessment. Inadmissibility 7. Inadmissibility of substitution of obligatory conformity assurance by voluntary certification. Today's topic is over. Goodbye, students.